Football has absolutely blessed us. We got a big weekend ahead of us. There's big games in Spain, big games in England, big games in Germany, big game in Portugal, big games all around Europe, and it's beautiful, man. We're here obviously talking about Real Madrid versus Barcelona, which is the big one for a final. We also have Benfica Sporting in Portugal for the final of the Taça da Liga. Look, man, there's a lot of crazy things happening, and yeah, man, where do we start? I guess we start with Real Madrid, Barcelona, and we start with the pros and the cons to Barcelona and Real Madrid. And we'll start with the cons for Real Madrid, for Barcelona. We don't know what Barcelona is going to show up. I think everybody can agree with that. I don't think any Barcelona fan will going to be mad at me for saying that. If Barcelona shows up and beats the Barcelona that showed up for the last El Clasico, if Barcelona shows up, that was the Barcelona that started the season, Real Madrid's in a lot of trouble because not a lot of teams in world football have an answer for that Barcelona. That Barcelona is a Barcelona that is scary to anybody who has to match up with them. Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, just at Lewandowski scoring goals. It's a very scary Barcelona to match up. But then if you match the Barcelona that we've seen over the last month and a half, it's more of a Barcelona that's beatable. The problem is it's an El Clasico. And when it's an El Clasico, usually both teams step up to the plate and go to another level. Even if you're in bad form, somehow, some way, teams find good form, right? So there's that. Then there's Real Madrid. The pros, Jude Bellingham, and then Vinny if he's on. The negatives, we don't know what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. We don't know what system they're running. We don't really know what their strategy is. We just know they win games the Real Madrid way. And that's just heart, determination, and someone stepping up and finishing a playoff or making a magical play. And that's what we've gotten for Real Madrid all year. We got a Madrid that nobody knows what the hell they want to do on the field, but they still win games. And then you have a Madrid that Jude Bellingham has really been starting to step up lately. Vinicius Jr., when he's on and not arguing and fighting, he's a phenomenal player to watch. One of the best in the world, if not the best. And then you have Mbappe that is lacking and slacking in every category. So let's start with that conversation because that's a conversation in itself. Going into this El Clasico, I think it's really time for Mbappe to show up and show out because enough is enough, right? Like, we know what you are, Mbappe. We all know what you are. We all know who you can be. We all seen it in the World Cup. We all seen it in Ligue 1. We've seen what you are. We know what you can be. And there comes a time where the switch has to get flicked. Ronaldo went through a bad phase at Madrid. Benzema went through a bad phase at Madrid. Vinicius Jr., Benzema said not to pass the ball to Vinicius Jr. He went through a bad phase at Madrid. It happens, right? Mbappe's in the same situation that Vinny was year one when Benzema was saying not to pass him the ball. If you guys don't know about that, go look it up. It's crazy. Benzema's pretty much saying Vinny plays for the other team. Mbappe's going through the same situation. But Mbappe can step up to the plate and really make everybody forget about the struggles. There's been games where you see Mbappe flick and you're like, damn, that's Mbappe. There it is. And then there's games where you're like, who's that guy? He's not a shadow of what Mbappe used to be. And I truly mean this when I say this, I think he's trying too hard. Like, I know people will be like, what do you mean by that? I personally think he's trying too hard to impress and to wear that jersey and to wear it the way Ronaldo wore it, to wear it the way Zidane wore it, to wear it the way, stars have worn that jersey. And I think he's having a hard time carrying that load. You look at Lamine Yamal, there was no expectations. There was no pressure. It was a kid who stepped into the Barca shirt, stepped into the Spain shirt, and just went and did what he loves to do, play football. And he looks like a kid playing football on a school playground, just having a good time, laughing, having fun, and doesn't really care. And it's worked out in his favor because he's looked threatening on the ball. He looks exciting to watch. He's making people want to watch Barcelona all the time. He's the type of player that makes you not want to miss a Barcelona game. And that's what you expected from Mbappe, but it just feels like the pressure of the jersey, of the badge is getting to him. I think going into this El Clasico, he needs to let that go, man. I think he needs to just do what Mbappe does, bro. Stop trying too hard, score tap-ins, do whatever you got to do. You ain't got to score from outside the box. You ain't got to take 3 players on and score a banger. dude, do whatever you got to do to put the ball in the back of the net. I don't care if you score 3 goals and by the end of the game, everybody's calling you tap-in Merchant Haaland. I don't care. I don't care. Like, no one, Haaland doesn't care that people call him tap-in Haaland. He doesn't care, bro. He's scoring. He's doing what he's got to do. And at the end of the day, that's what Mbappe needs to do. He needs to do what he has to do. He needs to do his part and score goals however he can score and just be Mbappe, yo. Be the Mbappe that we saw in the second half of that World Cup final against Argentina. If that Mbappe shows up, Barcelona's in trouble, right? Barcelona's in trouble. If you ask me to put a prediction on this game right now, it's a hard one, man, because my chest and like the fact that I like watching Real Madrid, I'm going to tell you that Real Madrid's going to win it, right? And when I look at their team, I'm going to be like, yeah, Real Madrid's going to win it. Real Madrid got this game locked up, easy peasy. They won. They're winning this one. But then when I tell you with my head, when I tell you how I feel up here, based off the last El Clasico, it's hard to pick against Barcelona. It's hard to pick Real Madrid over Barcelona because Barcelona just seems like in that game they had their number down, bro. They knew everything that was going to happen. They just had it down. So it's hard for me to pick against Barcelona, but it's really hard for me to ever count out Real Madrid with the players they have. Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Mbappe, Camavinga. Like, it's hard. Tchouaméni came out with a head injury in the last game. I don't know if he's going to be back for that. I don't know if he recovered in time. Camavinga almost also took a knock to the head. I don't know if he's going to be back on time or if he is okay. I think he was okay. I think he finished. But Tchouaméni, I guess they got to find out what's going on with him. But it's very hard to pick against Madrid based off the team that they put on paper. But then it's really hard to pick against Barcelona because I just think that they out-tactic Real Madrid. I think that they have a better organized system than Real Madrid. So I can see this game being tied for a long time. And I want to say it ends on penalties. I know that sounds really weird, but I could see this game ending on penalties. I could see this game going like 2-2, going to penalties, and somebody wins it on pens. I could see that legitimately being the way this game goes down. But if you ask me right now who's going to win, I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm going into this game, and I have no idea what the hell is going to happen. I am actually, I don't know because I don't know what Barcelona is going to show up. I don't know what Madrid's going to show up. And I think all La Liga fans can say that they actually agree with me on this for once. I think we can all agree on something. We'd never know what team is going to show up. The Barca from the beginning of the season or the Barca that struggled over the last month and a half. The Real Madrid that we expect and we think that can be that team, or the Real Madrid that we've seen throughout the season that just look very poor. They don't shoot the ball often. They don't, it looks very, very sluggish and sloppy and slow. What team are we getting? And this is why I'm literally sitting here and telling you, like, this is one of the first El Clasicos in a long time that I could look you in the face and be like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen because I don't know what team's going to show up. Back in the day, Real Madrid would show up with Ronaldo and stuff, and I could give you like, hey, you know what? I think Ronaldo puts a hat trick today, and they see that team through. Or you would say, oh, Barca, man, they're just with Messi in the form he's been in over the last couple weeks and the way they're moving the ball, there's no way Real Madrid could beat that Barca team. And you kind of knew and you felt with something. Going into this game, I don't know, dude. I legitimately don't know. But I think it's going to be a big turning point in the season. I think this is going to be a very, very impactful game for La Liga. I think this is going to be a game that is very, very, I think it's going to shake things up, man. I really think it's going to shake things up. It's going to show both teams if they need stuff in the transfer window, January transfer window. It's going to show, the strengths and the weaknesses of these teams. So I think it's a huge game. I think it's a massive game for the season. Even though it's not a La Liga game, I think it's going to determine a lot in this season because if Madrid can pump out a big victory here against Barcelona and really get their confidence down with the players they have, you could see this team fly, right? But also, whoever wins this game, I could see whoever wins it the next day in La Liga lose. I think we can all agree with that. I could see Let's say Real Madrid wins it. Boom, they raise the trophy. The next game, I can see them losing La Liga. Same thing for Barcelona, because you never really know with these teams. So I'm excited. It's going to be a great game, but I got to be honest with you, man. It's one of the most hard games to predict. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I'm excited for this match, and I can't wait for it. Let me know in the comments down below your predictions, and let me know who you think scores goals. I do think Mbappe is going to score. I'm going to tell you that right now. I do think Mbappe scores in this game. Hopefully, I'm not wrong.